Shalom, shalom, and shalom again. So today we're dealing with the third day Aliyah of Parashah Shemot, Exodus chapter 2, verse 11 through 25, with killer Moses. Moses was a killer. Might even be argued a manslayer, but Moses was a killer. And this killer went off and found himself some desert love. Moses found some desert love. Okay, so the next new moon is January 5th to January 6th at sunset. January 5th at sunset, January 6th at sunset, which is Saturday night to Sunday night. That's the next new moon. And the next holy day is going to be Passover, which is going to be Thursday, April 18th at night. The first day of Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, until Friday, April 19th at night. Right after that Friday night, you go right into the Sabbath and continue for the next day of the feast, the second day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread is going to be so-called Wednesday, April 24th to Thursday, April 25th, from nighttime to nighttime. That's the last day of Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay? Everybody got that? Real quick, brother Curtis, I'm gonna answer that question. Real quick, okay? Is the new moon the crescent moon? When we go into Genesis chapter 1, verse 5, actually, when we go into Genesis chapter 1, verse 4, Elohim divided the light from the dark. He divided the light from the dark. So that's the model that we have from creation, all right? When we only have darkness and light. Before there's any earth, any moon, any sun, he put a division between the darkness and the light. The crescent new moon does not line up with that model that Yahweh gave us from Genesis chapter 1, verse 4. The model that he gave us is more of a darkness and light model, the darkness being the dark moon, the beginning of the month, and the light being the increasing light after the new moon, going up to the full moon. All right, it has those opposites, that contrast. Okay, light and dark. New moon is dark. In the middle of the month is white. So the new moon, when we look at the Genesis model, the new moon is white, is not a crescent. There is no emphasis placed on the opposite of the crescent moon beginning the month, which will be the crescent moon ending the month. And the Most High is about balance. So if the new moon were going to be the beginning of the month with the crescent, then the end of the month with the crescent on the left-hand side, what they call a waning crescent, that event would be significant also. Okay? So now we have a black moon beginning and a white moon is the middle. And each time we see the opposite happening. Black moon, the light increases, and then it's at a full increase. And then from full increase, it starts to decrease, and then it gets into a crescent on the left-hand side. It starts to decrease, then goes into full black, beginning a new month, and then it goes into a crescent increasing on the right-hand side, which is called the waxing crescent. So we have the waxing and the waning on the left-right side, and then we have the dark moon in the middle of those phases, and then we have the new moon beginning with, we have the full moon rather at the middle of that whole phase. So the dark moon is the beginning of the month, Brother Curtis Morgan. Hope that answers your question. Now let's try to move on to the Torah class for the day. And once again, brother Curtis Morgan, I'm basing this first of all on Genesis chapter 1 verse 4. So I start at the beginning. I like to start at Genesis so we can show that polarity, positive and negative, accepted, unaccepted, light and dark, left and right, up and down. We see it all, being addressed, and we're shown the model for how we deal with things from Genesis. All right, so now going into the Sabbath, going into the Torah lesson, not the Sabbath, but going into the Torah lesson. Let me start out by saying that Moses was a killer. Moses was a killer. All right, Moses was a killer. He was meek, he was humble, he was intelligent, he was Hebrew, but he was not nothing to play with. All right, he was not a chump, he was not a hoe, he was not no faggot. Moses was a killer. He was a strong Hebrew man that would be considered to be a Haitian if he was alive now. And the same type of spirit he had to rise up against the oppression of his people is the same spirit that we see in the Haitian Revolution. The people that took part in the Haitian Revolution, for the most part, were Levites. We know we had some people that came down from Jamaica to help them, most notably Boukman. Boukman was from Jamaica. All right, so Moses would be considered to be a so-called Haitian today. All right, Laoya. Moses is from the tribe of Laoya. The Haitians are from the tribe of Laoya. All right, so my read is Amardia, and we're going to start with this third Aliyah of Exodus chapter 2, verse 11 through 25. Okay, let's start with verse 11.
Now it came to pass in those days that Moses grew up and went out to his brothers and looked at their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian man striking a Hebrew man of his brothers. He turned this way and that way, and there was no man.
And he saw
that there was no man. So he struck the Egyptian. And hid him in the sand.
All right, so Moses grew up and he wanted to go check out his people. So he knew that these were his people already. They make it seem like Moses had some big revelation. Oh my God, I'm a Hebrew. I never knew it. So you've hidden this from me all of my life? You're such a bad mommy. Now, Moses is nothing in the Bible that gives us anything in the imagination that this man thought that he was a Gentile. There's nothing in the whole scripture thought that he was a Gentile. So this man didn't think that he was a Gentile from the records that we have. His mother worked in the palace, and we know his sister approached Pharaoh's daughter and said, "Hey, I can go find a woman that can be a baby." So Moses knew, according to verse 11, that the Hebrews were his brothers. He said he saw somebody, an Egyptian man, striking his Hebrew brother. So he knew that even though everybody had brown skin, that they were still different people. They were still distinguished from each other. Everybody understand that? Y'all understand that downstairs? All right, so this was a whole, different people, Egyptians, Matazadium, all right? And the Israelites, the two different people. Okay, he saw the Matazadia, All right, hitting a what? E-body out. So when he saw that, he rose up and defended his brother. He said, "You're not gonna hit my brother." And that's in the law. The scripture says we're not supposed to stand against the blood of our brother. Which means if we see something happening to our brother, evil, bad, we supposed to jump in. That's the law. If we see it happening, that means everybody out there with a phone recording when their brother are getting beat up, they supposed to intervene and step in and be on some Moses type of stuff. They ain't supposed to just let somebody beat your brother down. Everybody want to talk. You know, everybody want to talk, right? But if you see something happening to your brother, you should intervene and step in, especially if you can do it and remain anonymous. I see you on the ground choking my brother. I see you hitting brother with a billy club upside his head. You know what I'm saying? There's certain ways to do things decently and in order. The street is not the place for law enforcement to be trying to execute sentences against people. So if I see somebody doing something evil against my brother, I have a right, according to the Torah, to step in and try to knock the snot out of somebody that's trying to harm my people. You understand that? And if I get beat up, at least I did the right thing. If I go to jail, at least I did the right thing. And I guarantee you, if every Israelite in America, in Mexico, anywhere in the world, every so-called Israelite, Black, Hispanic, Latino, Native American, if they all made that understanding clear in their brain and they did it, I guarantee you, problems with any type of law enforcement will go down overnight. I guarantee it. Well, we can't beat up these. We can't hit these spicks and niggas like we used to. We can't do that tomorrow. Why? Because man, 600 incidences happen over the country today. When people try to approach them brothers, them people, to harm them with uniforms on, and they ended up getting themselves in a bad situation. You see what I'm saying? But everybody rather just talk about stuff, complain about it, but not do nothing. See, Moses wasn't no talker. Moses wasn't a talker. Moses was a doer. Moses was a doer. Moses wasn't about no talking or no whole bunch of negotiating. You see? He wasn't about no negotiating. So when they say in the Torah something, supposed to have that Moses spirit, that Moses mindset, and what? Do it. Carry it out. Do what it says to do. And that's it. So Moses see his brother getting beat up. Beat up. Not killed or murdered. Mind you, just getting smitten, which means to what? Hit. So Moses seeing his brother getting hit by an Egyptian. Now remember, he's raised in Egyptians. He's raised with them now. So he sees his brothers getting hit by the Egyptians. And Moses said, nah, man, you ain't getting away with that. So Moses say, you gotta die. You gotta die. Liberté ou les meurtres, right? Is that what they say? Liberté ou les meurtres. Moses, you gotta die, man. So Moses kills this Hamite, indigenous African. He kills him. And then Moses gave him a burial. He gave him a burial in the sand. Here lies somebody that will lie here. Amen. So Moses buried my man in the sand. All for what? For raising your arm against the children of Israel. And that's why the Most High tells us later on in Exodus 11:7, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that Yahweh puts a difference between the Egyptians and the Israelites. So the Most High made a distinction between Ham and Shem. And a lot of you Israelites, you want to glorify and elevate Africa or Ham just because you live there or because you came from there in slavery. That is not our ancient homeland. We migrated there into Egypt, just like we see now in the scriptures. We migrated into Africa as a result of something negative going on in our homeland. The land of Ham is not the ancient dwelling place of the children of Israel. The land of Ham is the dwelling place of the indigenous Africans. All right. Our homeland is what you would call the Eastern Mediterranean. And of the Eastern Mediterranean, all right, we dwelt from bottom all the way up to where? Southern Turkey, northern Syria. That's where our ancestors came from. Turkey is a new name. The land used to be called Aratazal Aram, which means the land of Aram, which is translated now, they say Syria. But that's where our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's where they walked at. They didn't walk in Nigeria, Ghana, Togo. They didn't walk in the land of Ethiopia, Tanzania, Malawi, South Africa, Congo, Chad. They didn't walk in places. They walked from Ramesses, Pithom, Avaris, okay, the eastern part of the Nile Delta in northern Egypt, which is the lower Nile, all the way up to Haran, Turkey, which is still there today. And maybe over to what you would call southern Iraq, Ur of Chaldees, maybe down there. But the jury is still out on that, still looking to see if we really, because there's some other archaeological data or findings that suggest that it could be in the northern Mesopotamia area that Abraham and them came from, instead of southern over there in Iraq. So that's something to check out. You know what I'm saying? So we got to check that out, research, and do further investigation, and come with a conclusion. All right. So the Egyptian and Moses was two different people. There's a difference between the indigenous native Africans and the Shemitic migrant Africans. We came there as exiles and refugees from our land. We came as refugees from our land of Israel, Yasharallah, Jerusalem. The middle, what they call the Middle East area, centers around Jerusalem, Israel. Okay, so even though you might say, "Oh, Africa, that continent," but we weren't on that continent. We weren't really on that continent. Everybody was in like the northern and eastern part, and then they started to migrate west later on. Okay. All right, so let's do start with verse 13.
He went out on the second day, and behold, two Hebrew men were quarreling. And he said to the wicked one, Why are you going to strike your friend? And he retorted, Who made you a man, a prince, judge over us? Do you plan to slay me as you have slain the Egyptian? Moses became frightened and said, Indeed, the matter has become known.
All right, so people running their mouth. So Moses saw two brothers. He just saved the brother's life. All right. So then they took the good that Moses did and tried to use that like he got to remain quiet now and not do nothing or say nothing that they don't like. Well, what you gonna do? You gonna kill me? Nah, bro, I'm your brother, man. I'm gonna kill you for. So now Moses see two brothers about to fight. He say, "Yo, what you gonna interfere? What you gonna hit your brother for?" And they say, "Well, you ain't no leader of us." Now they talking to him sideways, reckless, disrespectfully. Right? He said, "You gonna kill me too?" And Moses like, "Yo, It's all bad now. I'm a prime suspect in the murder. Moses became a prime suspect in the murder now. And what does he do? Let's see. Go ahead.
Pharaoh heard of this incident, and he sought to slay Moses. So Moses fled from before Pharaoh. He stayed in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well.
All right, so if Moses like, yo, Moses ran. He's a fugitive now. He just murdered a man, killed a man, let's say. He just took a man's life. And in Pharaoh's eyes, Moses is a murderer. He charged with a murder. Any crime against one of Pharaoh's men was a crime against Pharaoh. Murdering one of Pharaoh's men was a murder charge if you murdered Pharaoh himself. You smacked one of Pharaoh's soldiers, it's like you smacked Pharaoh himself. So how much real respect and how brainwashed was Moses? How much of a sellout was he? When he went and saw, he left. He got of age. He became grown, and he left and went out. And when he went out, he said, "Man, this dude is hitting the Israelite." So Moses said, "Nah, you got to die for that." So how much of a sellout was he? How much he was for his people? He wasn't in no Egyptian mindset. It wasn't an Egyptian mindset. And it don't say nothing about Moses asking a whole bunch of questions either, do it? It don't say Moses launched no investigation. You got no right to put your hands on any of my brothers, period. And he knew that this was, well, we can say that. So the scripture says that Pharaoh now wants to kill Moses. So Moses, what does he do? Like any man gonna do. He got an open case on murder. He run. And he goes into the land of Midian, which kind of easterly of where they were at. Okay, easterly. Midian. Remember, Midian was the son of who? Midian was the son of Abraham. All right, Midian was the son of Abraham. So you might want to try to call them. Maybe you can call them like some Arab people. Okay. Maybe you can call them some Arab people. Okay. So we're talking about Midian. Okay. If you go down to the bottom of the Jordan, that little point where Israel and Jordan meet together, there's a city called Aqaba right to this day. There's a city called Aqaba. It costs $10 to fly from, I believe it's Izmir or Athens to get to Aqaba, Jordan. $10 to get an airplane flight. $10 for the airplane. The land of Midian is going to be if you go, well, actually Moses could have went south, all right, along the Sinai Peninsula and then crossed over, but he went far away. That's the point. He went far away. All right, went all the way down at the Gulf of Aqaba. Okay, that's where Midian was at. Okay, that's where Midian was at. So he went into like the Arab regions. Now remember that when Moses left, he hooked up with Mount Sinai. All right. So that land of Midian is over on the Gulf area. If you look on the map in Egypt, you see that triangle piece of land, that little peninsula. All right. From that area in general, all right, is going to be the area where Moses' children, where Abraham's children were at. All right. So now he went to Midian. This is a so-called Arab nation today. All right, not These aren't Ishmaelites, but they're still Arabs. And these are the same people, mind you, that was dealing with, that were involved in Joseph becoming a slave. Same people. All right. All right. Now the Moses went. We read about the 7 daughters. All right. So Moses went, and he stayed with Midian, and now he's down by a well. All right. He's down by the water, the place where the animals are going to go to get water. Go ahead. I thought you read 2 verses.
Now the chief of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and they filled the troughs to water their father's flocks. But the shepherds came and drove them away. So Moses arose and rescued them and watered their flocks.
So Moses rose up, and Moses delivered them. All right. Wayakom Masha Wa Yahushine delivered them, saved them, delivered them. So Moses brought them salvation and deliverance, as we see by this word right here. All right. And then Moses gave them the water. So Midian's the priest of Midian, which is Jethro and Ruel, 2 different names he has. His daughters were over there, and they were taking care of the sheep. All right, his daughters were over there taking care of the sheep, and they filled the water from the well, so their father's sheep could eat, could drink. They took the water from the well and buckets or whatever, and they dumped it into the feeding trough, which is like a long stone or a long wooden thing like this that was like shaped like this, like an upside down U, but it was long. Okay, it was long. Imagine a big long straw. Imagine a straw that's like 5 feet, a 5-foot circle straw, right? Then imagine you cut it in half from one end all the way to the other. All right. And then you have 2.5 feet of half of a straw that's about like this big, right? And then the animal will come on the side, lick their little water up. So that's a trough. So they go into the trough to water their father's flocks. But then some more guys came, and they violated our sisters, or they violated these women. They disrespected them. They said, "You get out the way. The work that you just did, putting this water inside the flocks, for the flocks inside this trough, this feeding area, this drinking area, go away. Move. We're gonna use that water that you got for our sheep, girl. You got something to say about it?" But now Moses comes up, and there's more than one guy. Moses comes and rescues the girls. He's playing the hero to the girls. So this is Moses' second time interfering in people's business when something bad is happening to him, because he's making it his business. Right? Now our people got to stop being punks. We got to stop letting evil and wrong things happen to our people, and we just sit back there watching, recording with a phone so we can upload it to Facebook or Instagram. We're just watching people get done evil. Just watching bad things happen to people. You see? So when we're watching these bad things happen and don't do nothing about it, we just as bad. So this is the second time we see something bad happening, and Moses said, "You know what? I got to step in and help." He was like, "Oh man, I just got this case in Egypt. I'm gonna just lay low, stay out the way. I'm gonna just stay off in the pocket for a minute." Moses said, "Nah, I ain't letting that pass either. Y'all got a problem? We got a problem here? We got a problem here? Nah, ain't no problem. Ain't no problem, man. Everything cool, baby." All right, so Moses delivered the girl. He helped the girl. And that caused them to be work so fast. They're working as a team. Now they got a man that's helping them get the sheep fed, get them watered, and stood up for them and made them men that were bothering them go away. All right, go ahead.
They came to their father Ruel.
So they came to their father, Ruel, Rai Wa'ala, which means friend of God, friend of the power. All right. Rai Wa'ala, his name. Go ahead.
And he said, why have you come so quickly today?
So he's like, man, how did y'all girls finish so fast today? Read.
They replied, an Egyptian man rescued us from the hands of the shepherds, and he also drew water for us and watered the flocks.
So Moses kept on getting the water. They got the first water, then they kept getting the water for the other sheep as they were drinking them. Because it wasn't just one trough and all the sheep could come. They had a lot of sheep. So they would feed the sheep, let them get the water, and then push them along, and let another group come. So the father like, man, how y'all do that so fast today? Well, you know what? An Egyptian. Why they called him Egyptian? Because Moses was not white. Because they thought he was an Egyptian. The clothes he had on, he looked like an Egyptian man. His face was brown like the Egyptians. Who, by the way, the modern day Egyptians are going to be the people that are mainly of the Yoruba. 7 families of the Yoruba. All right, just like Mizraim had 7 sons. All right, these are 7 sons in their language and their religion. The Yoruba religion links back up to the Egyptian religion. So they said an Egyptian helped us water our flocks. He helped us. All right, go ahead.
He said to his daughters, where is he? Why have you left the man? Invite him and let him eat bread. Moses consented to stay with man, and he gave his daughters Zipporah to Moses.
So brothers is giving away their daughters to wife. Hey man, you help me out here. Have a wife. Here, take Kaya. Take mine and Shabbat. Here, take them. You help with the flock? You help with the sheep? Oh, go ahead. So no, but what happened was the man, Moses, stayed with them. The father was what? Hospitable toward the guests. He wanted him to come in and sit down with bread with them. Sit down and eat with them. We were hospitable people. Every time you read in the Bible, somebody coming to see somebody, Abraham told Yahweh and the angels, let me fix some food for y'all just a little bit. When we went to our father Laban, we said, Laban said, hey, come on in. Let's get something to eat. All right. When the Israelites went down into Egypt, Joseph said, come on, y'all, let's sit down and let's have a dinner. We love to eat and we love to invite people to eat with us. That's the Eastern hospitality. You don't see that much in the West, but you still see it in the East. Okay. So he said, come on and get some bread. Let's eat. And Moses said, you know what? I'll go ahead and stay here with y'all. So where'd that come from? He said, yo, why don't you stay with us for a little while? So Ra'ai Wa'ala or Ruel, he said, Moses, why don't you stay with us for a little while? And Moses being a fugitive, he can't go to the land of Canaan because that's still showing the control of Egypt. And they would know that he's there. And he can't go back to Egypt. So he said, you know what? I'm going to just stay here. Now, what happens when he stays there? If anything happens to Moses, Ruel, Ra'ai Wa'ala, will lose respect amongst his people. Anytime you bring somebody into your house, you're responsible for their safety. That was the culture of our people in the ancient world. Anytime you brought somebody into your house, you were responsible for their safety. So Midian is saying, I'm responsible for Moses' safety. All right? That's the culture. That's how we stood for each other. When I invite you into my house, you my people. And at this time, you stole from somebody, you got killed. You didn't just get a chance to roam around the desert or roam around the forest trying to think of somebody else to murder, somebody else to steal from. You got killed. Under these laws, in this time, among these people. Now, these are Hebrew people also, the Midianites, but they're another family of the Hebrew people. Another family, but they're still Hebrew. So they came from Abraham, so they knew about the God of Abraham, Yahweh. They knew about the laws of Abraham. Abraham taught their ancestors the laws, and that's why when we go into the book of Genesis, it tells us that Abraham will command his children and his household to do justice and judgment. So they knew about the God of Abraham. Midianites did. And Ra'ayah is still dealing with those laws, those commandments, that justice that he learned from his father Midian. His ancestor Midian passed that down, and he kept staying in the right way. He didn't go off into idolatry like a lot of the desert people did. He stayed on the obedient side, worshiping the Most High. All right. Real quick, my lunar phase is off. I'm trying to work on a Hebrew calendar without dealing with Jewish people's calendar, but thanks, Elder. Well, you got to deal with some calendar, brother, because your phone, your computer, your job, your bank statement, your rent, your checks, all things that we deal with is on the Gentile calendars. So the Jewish people calendars is going to be closer to our calendar than any other calendar that you're going to get on your phone, you know, that updates you every day, tell you what time you made a post, tell you what time your message came in. It's just a timekeeping device. Jewish people calendar deals with lunar, the crescent moon. So you're gonna, if you don't want to deal with Jewish people calendars, you're dealing with the crescent moon. That's their calendar. That's the calendar that they use now. Right? So I can send you the Hebrew calendar. If any of you brothers got a Hebrew calendar out there, you know, one that I've sent you, please send it to the brother Curtis Morgan on his inbox. And then Curtis Morgan, let me know, you know, if you get that calendar. You know, I can try to send it to you all after we finish this class, but you know, you have to know how to do a calendar. You can't just work on a calendar. You got brothers that's been doing this for 20, 25 years, such as myself, where you don't got to go through all the experimentation and the trial and error. I've already done all that for you. And I can show you my trial and errors and what works and what doesn't work and where to get information from and where not to get information from. You know what I'm saying? So I can try to, you know, have a discussion with you. I might do a video after this about the calendar and about the moon, actually. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But I'll try to get you a regular calendar. Yeah, the Jewish people calendar deals with the crescent. The crescent. When I have made calendars, I didn't deal with their calendars. I deal with, you know, the astronomy, the position of the stars and the sun and the moon in different constellation groups. That's how we're supposed to do the calendar according to Genesis chapter 1. Once again, using Genesis chapter 1 as your base. Verses 14, 15, and 16 talk about the calendar and the components that the calendar should take into consideration, should have. All right. So back to the lesson. So now Moses marries Zipporah, or Tzapara or Tzapara. Tzapara means a little bird, little. That's what it means, like a little bird. That's what it means. So it's a little bird. Okay. So Moses married to Zipporah or Zipporah, the man of Midian, whose name is Ruel, Ra'i wa Allah. He says, man, he liked Moses. He thought Moses was a respectable guy, intelligent, So he said, here, man, take my daughter. All right, take my daughter. All right. Let's go to verse. Let's go to 22 and 23.
She bore a son, and he named him Gershom, for he said, I was a stranger in a foreign land.
Which comes from Gar, which means a foreigner. So he's in a foreign land. All right, go ahead.
Now it came to pass in those many days that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Yashala sighed from labor, and they cried out, and their cry ascended to Elohim from the labor.
Now remember, they doing all this work because the Egyptian ruler was trying to exterminate, genocide against the children of Israel. The same thing the so-called white man, the European man, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, the devil on the earth, exterminated millions of people on every continent of the world. The only person on the earth that has murdered everybody on every continent. He's murdered every different group of people on the continent. Like it was a game. Collecting trophies. He's a murderer. So-called white man is a murderer. That's how he controlled and stole Europe, Africa, Asia, North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean. So these Egyptian so-called Africans, what the white man is doing to us, what he did during slavery, what he did during Jim Crow, what he did during encomienda systems, what he did during the hacienda systems in Mexico and in South America, blanqueamiento in Brazil, all right, Bolivia, Ecuador, Peru, Argentina, Colombia, Venezuela, Panama. What he did down there in exterminating and murdering the people, he learned from the Hamite African. He learned from them. All right. So through all of that, Egyptians were crying out to the Most High. And this king that started to say, we got to kill these Israelites. And that continued to be the policy of the Egyptians. So the king dies. But when the king died, they still cry out to the Most High. Yahweh, help us. Alahayim, Allah Shadyah, help us. Deliver us. And through all of this, Moses got exiled from the land or faced getting put in jail. He left and he goes into the desert, all right, the Sinai Peninsula area. And when he goes down there, what does he find? Finds love in the desert. To Zipporah. And they have a baby. They have Gershom. All right. They have Gershom or Gershom. They have Gershom. So Moses said, a God, Hayayathaya, I have been Baratazar in the land Nakariyah. The stranger. So Moses said, man, he had a baby with Keturah, with Zipporah. And then the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh at that time, he died. And when he died, Israel like, yo, we hope we get some release. Most High, Allah Shadyah, God Almighty, give us, help us, deliver us. All right, let's read verse 24 and 25.
Elohim heard their cry, and Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And Elohim saw the children of Yashala, and Elohim knew.
Okay. وَيَا Alahayim Athbanya Yasha'ala Wa Yadai Alahayim. So knew, meaning he recognized them and he saw them and had a knowledge of this is what needs to be done concerning them. So now he has the knowledge in his mind, his plan on what he wants to do is coming forth. How Yahweh wants everything to plan out now. He said, no, now is the time. So now I know. Alahayim knew. Now I know this is the time of their deliverance. All right. So when the African king died, which was the African Hamite, he died. All right. Alahayim, he remembered the children of Yasharallah. All right. Wayashemai Alahayim Ath Na'akwatham Yazakab Alahayim Ath Badayathwa, his covenant. Ath Abaraham Ath Yatzakak Wa Ath Yaikwab. So he remembered this covenant to give us that land, to be our God. He remembered that covenant. So when you remember the covenant, now we're going to see the Most High start to intervene on a physical level. But what made him remember the covenant? What made him remember the covenant was right here. Alahayim heard their cry. The children of Israel sighed from the labor, and they cried out. And that's why the so-called white man in America, one of the reasons he took the chains off. He said, man, if we take the chains off, we can make them work, give them a little bit of money, and they're going to give it right back to us and make our economy strong. They're going to give us their money back. So you come over for me, all right? You come and work for me, and you come and work for me. All right, so here, pretend you working. So you working. Let's work. Come on, let's work. Let's build something. You build something. You build it. Build it. Okay. Here's your money. Here, take your money. Okay. Now, you hungry? You need some crema? Need some crema? Okay, you need food? You need food to eat, right? Okay, here's some food. Give me money. Here. See? That's how it works. The money that you making, you giving it right back to your enemy. You're still a slave, but now you're getting a little bit of money. But that's okay, because when I give you the money, you're going to give the money right back to my system. And here's my brother over here. You want some nice clothes? Or Ferragamo or Salvatore or whatever you want. All right? Here, my brother got it. Give him money, and then he give you the clothes and the shoes. Okay, you see that? You're still a slave. Only thing now that you're getting money, but you're spending the money back with the same people that's oppressing you. And the government is saying, hey, give me 12%, give me 6% off of every dollar. Then telling the business, okay, here's your business taxes. But what about this? So you pay the money, you got to pay the taxes when you buy something. You buy something for $1, they want to charge you $1.10. And then the company made their money. So then the company from that dollar, they might be making 50 cents. So the company has to pay money off of that 50 cents. They say they got to pay 20%. That's 10 cents off of that 50 cents. So now you got 40 cents. So out of $1.10, the government is taking 10 cents and then 10 cents. They're taking 20 cents. Okay? That's like a little under 20% of everybody's money. That's like easier to think. How the Pharaoh said, give us a fifth of everything and we're gonna store it up. So the same way now, we were crying out to the Pharaoh, man, because of Pharaoh, we were crying out. We were crying, man, oh, they're doing this evil, they're doing this evil. So the white man said, you know what? Let's just let them go free. Let them walk around, think they're free, but they're still going to be slaves to us. Because they're not going to go nowhere. They're not going to go back to their ancient land. They're not going to go back to their homeland. They're not going to go back to the region where their fathers walked at, which is Turkey, Lebanon, Syria. Can't say Egypt. The Most High told us don't go back into Egypt again. That's what he said. Sinai Peninsula, that was ours too. But our main homeland went from Turkey, Syria, all the way down to Israel. Make them feel comfortable in their exile and captivity and working for me. Mexico, America, Jamaica, all these countries exist to feed white people in Europe, to feed the Swiss bank, to feed the European markets, to feed America's leadership. That's why these things exist. And it's existing around an illusion called money. It's existing around an illusion called money. So when you understand the illusion and you understand you're still being oppressed, then you'll do what? You'll cry out to Yahweh because of the labor that's being put on you. And at the end of it, it doesn't matter who you are. No matter who you are, most of the time that you make money, you're not able to save that money because you've been taught the more money you make, the more stuff you got to buy. The bigger your house got to be, the nicer your car got to be. But the foundation of all wealth around the world is land. Is land. Without land, nobody makes no money. You might say, well, computer. Well, the computer's made from stuff from the land. All of this stuff comes from land, comes from the dirt. Some of it comes from the laboratory, but where's the laboratory? On land. Everything is connected to the earth. Nobody's just floating on the bubble making money. Everything is connected to the earth. So we still laboring in captivity. Everything's connected to the earth. So they control the wealth, but we are working for them, but we still struggling. We're still laboring in vain. At night we saying, would Allah hire me with morning? And at morning we're saying, would Allah hire me with night? Meaning we always want to be on the opposite end of the day because of the stress and the pressure we feel for that particular day. Let me get a fresh start, man. I wish it was in the morning. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna get something different done tomorrow. Then you wake up like, man, I wish this day hurry up and be over. Then the day ends, you say, okay, tomorrow, man, I wish it's gonna be one time again because I'm gonna do it like this. Then the morning comes, oh, I gotta do this. It's a big cycle. But when the children of Israel cried out to Yahweh, all right, what happened?
Elohim heard their cry.
Elohim heard their cry.
And Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham.
Elohim remembered his covenant when we cried out.
Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob.
So with all of our people, when we cried out, because we were being oppressed, then Aliyah remembered us. And he delivered us. And that's what we're going to read about. Okay, that's what we're about to read about. That's going to be tomorrow. We're going to read about Aliyah setting the stage for deliverance of the children of Yasharallah. Okay. Okay, so any questions?
That doesn't make sense when why you even keep your money even give you something first and then you give the money back. Doesn't make sense.
Well, if he wants everything, he wants you to work for him, and he wants you to give him your money, how else can he get it? How else can he get it? And it doesn't have to make sense. What one of the reasons he's doing it, Mayana Shabai, is so you don't do it for yourself. Because once you start to do it for yourself, you won't need him to do it anymore for you. Number one, he does it because he doesn't want you to do it for yourself. And once you do it for yourself, you won't need him to do it for you. Number one. Number two, he does it to make you feel good and comfortable as if you getting the things that you really need. And as long as you think that you're getting the thing that you really need, guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to cry out to Yahweh. So he wins on both ways. He gives you what you want, you happy, you cry out to him. You happy, you don't cry out to the Most High. You need something, he don't want you to do it for yourself, so he'll do it for you. You see that? But if you do it for yourself, it's still going to be hard to function in his society because he doesn't like that. He's telling people in America right now that they can't save rainwater when it comes from the sky. He's telling people some places, you can't put a garden here. I don't want you in a garden. You have to get water from the faucet. You can't get it from the rain. It's not good. It's unhealthy. It's bad. You see? So he's trying to control everything. Trying to control everything. So what we have to do, we have to reject what he's trying to do for us, and we have to do it ourselves in the areas where we can. You understand what I'm saying? So in the areas where we can't do it for ourselves, in the areas where we may not be able to do something like, we can't, we have to go to him or go to anybody else to do it. But that's why he does it. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. It doesn't make sense unless you understand why he's doing it. And he's doing it to try to keep our minds distracted and captive to him. Huh? Yeah. But I said that he knew this is the plan. He knew that he was going to now send the deliverer. You didn't hear that part? He probably wrote your fingers or something. He said that he knew that he's gonna carry this plan out now. He's gonna send, what did I say? A deliverer. Perfect man for the job, right? Are you messing with these ladies' sheep? I'm gonna beat you up. Are you beating up a Hebrew? Oh, I'm gonna kill you. The Most High say, okay, you like delivering people? You like delivering people, Moses? Okay, I got the perfect job for you. Moses be like, but, I don't, well, it's kind of when you think about how in certain time from this perspective, because really that's how I could maybe, but I kind of don't want to, you feel me? Understand what I'm saying? You see, you got all this other, the Most High like, nah, bro, you got this job, man. He can't talk his way out of it. Well, I can't talk good. Well, I can't talk good. Well, your brother talk for you. How they gonna believe me? Put your hand in your bosom. throw your stick, your staff on the ground. I can do anything. I'm the Most High, man. All right. And then when we get in Exodus chapter 3:14, which I think we read that to hope we read that tomorrow. When we get into Exodus chapter 3, verse 14, that's what we're gonna read about what the Most High told Moses his name was. When he told him his name was Yahweh. And then he also says, Ahaya Asherah Ahaya. Yeah, I am and I am. And then he says, I am Yahweh. Then when we get into Exodus chapter 6, we're going to see even more of the Most High and Moses having a conversation about his name. Having a conversation about his name. All right, so that's what we got for right now. Any other questions? Any questions? All right. Anybody on anybody got any questions or statements? Okay. Okay, so ya se acabó. Que tengan una buena noche todo el mundo. Que todo el mundo tenga una buena noche. Okay, shalom. Shemai Yasharallah, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Akkad. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. Now remember, the next new moon is going to be Saturday night to Sunday night, January 5th to January 6th. And remember that the Passover is going to be Thursday, April 18th to Friday, April 19th, night to night, nighttime to nighttime, for Passover Feast of Unleavened Bread, April 18th to April 19th. And the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread is Wednesday, April 24th to Thursday, April 25th, sunset to sunset, sunset to sunset. And I have to give you these Gentile calendar names so you can correspond them with your job. You tell your job, hey, I need to be off on the first of Abib. Then I know what you're talking about. So you got to tell them, hey, I need to be off on so-called April 4th at night until April 5th at night, because that's the beginning of the new year, the beginning of the month, and I'm not working on that day. But if you just tell them, hey, I need a bib off, they're gonna be like, oh, what's a bib? Okay, what's a bib? If you tell the Israelite, yeah, I see you on a new moon. Israelites got the new moon different days. Everybody don't do the new moon on the same day. Some brothers off and do the new moon by the crescent, or do the new moon according to the white moon. You see? So that's about it for tonight. All praise to Yahweh, Bashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai, and all praise to Yahweh. Shalom Lekam.